At Residential Tech Today, we are extremely grateful for our partners and supporters that allow us to do the things that we do and support the publication so that we can bring you amazing content like we do on a regular basis. This episode of the Residential Tech Talks podcast, recorded at CEDIA Expo, was made possible thanks to a collection of partners, including the 8K Association, Elite Screens, Hisense, and Oasis Residential Technology Group.
Residential Tech Talks, lighting specialist, residential tech. Smart house.
All right, we are back on the Residential Tech podcast, Residential Tech Talks podcast. You can tell it's day 2.
Yes, it is day 2.
I'm fumbling over my words. Here presented, but we got a bunch of great sponsors we want to thank for being able to put this podcast on at the show. You got them on the screen behind us, the AK Association, Hisense, my friends at Oasis. I think you know some people at Oasis.
Yes, I do. Shout out Oasis.
Oasis and Elite Screens. So thank you to them for helping us put this space together, get some great content out at the show. But speaking of content, there's some great music.
Let's hold on.
Music is great content. We don't need to hold off. We can just keep thumping.
Let's
go
with the music. Okay.
Let's roll with it.
I'm with it.
That's proof that we're here in person at the show in Denver.
At the show live.
But speaking of content, Miss MaryEllen Oswald, it is awesome to be able to have you on the podcast. Business development at Somfy.
Yes.
We're here to talk about something way better that we did together.
Yes, absolutely.
And that's the magazine that is on the floor here at the show. And the thump and bump, but see, it gets us dancing. They're excited about it too. It's incredible. So
this is so lovely.
It's awesome, isn't it? But for those that don't know, should we tell a little bit of the backstory?
Let's tell the background, yes.
We got some background here. So there used to be some publications, a couple of magazines called Connected Design and Dealer Scope that we were colleagues at. So this is, we go back in the world of publishing and putting content together and, being able to share the stories from across this industry. And it was awesome to be able to do that with you again. And,
yes.
Our paths obviously split. We went different ways. You landed at Somfy. I was at Nationwide for a little bit. You're still at Somfy. I'm back in. I was crazy enough to leap back into this world of publishing, but here we are, and it was an awesome opportunity. We have our latest issue, the CEDIA issue, is the Women of Influence issue, and I couldn't think of anyone better to be involved in that and helping put that together than you.
Thank you. I'm not gonna lie. When you came to me with the idea, with the concept, it hit home. You know me, I'm a storyteller.
Yep.
I love to tell stories. This industry is also my passion.
Yeah.
So to be able to share, the brilliant minds that we know who maybe don't always get to share their experience and what they bring.
Yep.
What they bring to the industry, to their community. I had to do it.
I gave her no choice, or it was like you had to because you wanted to?
I already had 5 women at the top of my head. Here we go.
That's awesome.
Let's go.
That's incredible.
When do I start?
Well, there were so many aspects of this too that were fun because, from the initial call where we sat down, we're like, all right, well, who could we include? So what could the different topics be? And that's what I love about it. I know that there's other ways that women in the industry are recognized, and they're great. They serve a purpose. But what was awesome about this, and I think we both agreed and realized from the outset, was that this was not a different way of recognizing, right? Mm-hmm. Because it was giving a platform for the voices and their stories to be told, whether it was about them or by them.
Correct.
To be able to share those stories. And that was building that list of just the names, the who's who from across the space that contributed to this thing was just impressive.
I think that was the easy part,
yeah.
Honestly. Yeah, that was the easy part. I knew without a doubt in my mind, we'll start with the cover features, Angela Larson.
Did she sign a copy for you yet?
Not yet. But I will ask.
Right?
It'll be worth something at some point. But anyway, I've always loved Angie, always, was very inspired by her and just how she moves in the industry. And I had to hear her story. And I wasn't the only one to hear her story. And when we started the interview and we really got into it, I left that conversation with, I cannot wait to share this with the industry. Especially when she talks about industry collaboration.
Right.
Because that's basically what we did with this magazine. who's the best people to do that, right?
Right.
You know, well, let's take advantage of our friends at the press.
We do what we can. That's
Yeah.
you know.
And then, you know, of course, there was Michelle Gus, who,
Yeah.
you know, her
Has her own
story, you
incredible
know, her
story.
journey at Crestron from, you know, day one to where she is today, and
With a gap out in
and
there too.
a gap out, and then becoming a parent, you
Right,
know, a little bit
right.
later,
Mhm.
which nothing is traditional these days, and I think that's what I love about not just the industry, but life today.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, our choices.
Yep.
There's not a direct path we have to follow.
Right.
My
right.
path into the industry wasn't traditional.
Share it.
It was many years ago. I'm embarrassed to say. It was many years ago. My husband and I had relocated to San Diego, and it was like, okay, I had just had my second child, and I had the opportunity to be home with them, and it was like, well, we're going to buy a house. MaryEllen, you need to go back to work. I'm like, okay,
Decisions.
let's go back to work.
Done.
And at this time, you had to look for a job in the newspaper. And I came across a job. It was with a magazine, a publishing, a smaller magazine, but well respected, called Widescreen Review.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people who've been in the industry a really long time know
Yeah.
who that is.
Yep.
And I am, until this day, forever grateful for the opportunity they gave me,
Yeah.
because even though I started just helping them in like their subscription and their
Sure.
go-to-market on newsstand and things like that, I got to move around.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that's one of the perks of working for a small
Right.
company, right? You get
Right.
to take advantage of all the different opportunities. But
Yep.
that was really how I got here.
Wow. That's awesome.
And you know, they had a strong voice.
Yep.
And they were very niche.
Yep.
And I met a lot of people like Sam Runco and
Mhm.
you know, some of these like icons, Carol Campbell,
Yep.
things like that. And then my path grew from there.
Yeah.
Worked for NAPCO.
Yep.
And then you and I.
Yep.
You know, you and I met. And then we started Connected Design.
Mhm.
So again, my whole point to sharing my story is that we get to do what we want to do, and if you don't
Yeah.
take those risks and you don't try different things and grow,
Yep. Hey, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Right. Wasting time.
Exactly.
Just, you're existing in the ether.
exactly. So you know, again, there's
Right.
Michelle, there's Angela, and
Yep.
then Angie, as we all know her.
But so many
Kat-
others.
Kat
yeah.
Wheeler.
Yeah.
Danielle Carr.
Right.
Which great job on that one. I think I'm going to give you credit.
They were
on that
great.
one.
They were all great.
And
But-
Amanda.
Yeah, Amanda.
then-
We had Jessica too.
and then
Let's talk about
tapping in-
getting
yeah.
the band back together.
That's
you know?
right. Tapping into
Yep.
Jessica Guyon over at CEDIA, who
Yep.
worked with us.
Yep.
And you know, being able to share the three brilliant women who work at CEDIA, who
Yep.
have been at CEDIA a very long time. It's so important to hear their perspective of their journey in the industry, and then the people that you know they've helped. And here's the thing about women until this day, we don't take the credit that we should.
Yeah.
We like to brush it off. But I think what we did together at the end of the day, when you look at the magazine, it just, I think we did a.
It's
we
proof
did a-
in that we did a
we
thing.
did a great
We-
job.
we did so awesome. It was such awesome
I mean,
work.
I am going to take a lot of
we should be
look,
proud.
we did that.
Listen, yeah, should absolutely I mean, but it's a testament to all of the great content that's in there. And then even thinking about to me, the thing that stood out was the round table with the PR women, and I think about the influence they've just had on my career.
Yes.
Because without them, and I know it's not a complete list, but the names that are in there, the Roberta Lewises, the Lucette
Yes,
Nicoles, and
yes.
Sue, and K&B, and it's just
Kim Lancaster,
Kim,
you know,
and Chrissy. It's a who's who of people that have just influenced not just their own businesses, but this industry, and
Kathleen.
right, especially the media. I don't know that I could do my job successfully without them there supporting this industry. And you talk about the humility of women in general in this space, none of them wanted to do it. It was one of my favorite things to do was reach out to each of them. Veronica also in there, to reach out to each of them and ask, and they were like, no, I can't.
Yeah.
Who wants to hear from me?
No.
I was like, everyone. Everyone does. And to get their, their stories, their journeys to the challenges they've had to face, it needs to be heard, right?
Yeah, it really does. And we are very guilty of imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first reached out to Michelle Gus and I told her what I wanted to do and what we were doing together. And I wanted to feature her. I wanted to interview her. And she was like, why me? And I was like, well, Michelle.
Right.
And I gave her all, very many reasons. And she's like, oh my gosh, I have imposter syndrome. And
Right.
I'm like, but it happens to all of us.
Absolutely.
And then we just kind of have to and this is what we do as a community of women, motivate one another. You got this. Tell your story. It's
right.
You never know who is listening, and you never know who you're inspiring.
Yeah. And the impact it can have some of the stories from the 2 interviews that you did to just the influence they're going to have for generations too.
Exactly.
It goes beyond, but the ego on this book I don't think it could fit through the conventional at this point. But what we're saying is,
I think the amount of brilliant minds,
right, like them combined, like it's awesome to see it come together and know that whether they believe it or not, like the impact they're going to have, and this is going to have, and it's like, it was awesome to do.
It really was, and I truly want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Anytime.
You fired up. You just lit that fire that I had when we were working at Connected Design together. Just, not just telling, women's stories, but, sharing projects, going on these grand projects like we did that one time with
oh my
Eagle
gosh, that
Century
house in Vegas. I'll still never forget the car lift from the garage to the master bedroom.
Oh my gosh, but being there from the foundation to the
watch
final and sharing, the challenges and the wins along the way, that's really what it's about. And that for me, it's sharing these stories, the successes, the challenges, and I missed it. I missed it so much, and you gave me an opportunity to remember.
Glad to have been able to, a small little service.
To remember how good we are at this.
We're quite a team. We did pretty
really
good
good
stuff
at this.
together.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff together.
Yeah.
It was awesome to be able to do it again for sure. One thing you learned, going through the whole process, I know, it was like slipping on an old glove, but doing the work that you did to help bring this issue together, is there anything that stands out? Kind of this whole podcast, I feel like, is talking about what stands out, but one thing that you learned or, forgot about in this space that you're excited to have gone through the process? Maybe it's from a story too, one of the, stories, something that just stands out about what you did.
I think, first and foremost, I need to thank AI for recording my conversations and helping
Otter
me get
AI.
all my thoughts. All my
they
thoughts
want to throw
together.
their logo up here too. It was good stuff.
Wish I had that when we were back. No,
no joke. The days of listening to voice recorders and pausing and typing out.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think I owe Ari Supran from Sonat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Up for that, because his talk on oh man,
it's a good one.
Just time saving, time management. If I had to pick one thing, I think it's that I still learn. Mm-hmm. There was a learning curve, even with just how they do their jobs and their everyday, what they face, within their organizations. And how they manage that, and how they help the integrators. How they help their customers. For me, it just reminds me that there's room for growth. There's always room to do something more, to learn something new.
It never stops.
It doesn't stop.
Yeah. Well, this was awesome. It's incredible to be able to have done this with you and to, get the issue out that we did. I thank you. You say thank you me for the opportunity. Thank you for being willing and doing this and having fun. Maybe we should do it again soon. I don't know.
Well, I have more people.
The list is endless. So.
The list can go on, and the lessons and the stories to be continued.
Yep, absolutely. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your show.
Thank you. Have a good
and
show.
I think we'll stay in touch. I think we'll catch up again down the line soon.
Absolutely.
Awesome. If you enjoyed this episode of the Residential Tech Talks podcast, please subscribe to us on the platform you're listening on. Also, be sure to follow Residential Tech Today on social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Residential tech talk, autonomous lighting specialist to residential tech
Home automation, smart home or smart house.
At Residential Tech Today, we are extremely grateful for our partners and supporters that allow us to do the things that we do and support the publication so that we can bring you amazing content like we do on a regular basis. This episode of the Residential Tech Talks podcast, recorded at CEDIA Expo, was made possible thanks to a collection of partners, including the 8K Association, Elite Screens, Hisense, and Oasis Residential Technology Group.